You know? I told one of my students yesterday, he's a coach too. He's one of the coaches. He was on the case of one of my students. He was just letting him have it. He said it was getting uncomfortable. So I said to him, look, a few choices here. You could cut him out. You could say, look, I'm done teaching you. Why? Because I don't deal with people like you. I said, get rid of him. Or you could have a conversation with him and teach him. Fix whatever the issue is and teach him. I said, but this middle point is where we mess up. You have to know what you're doing, and this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and the power is in the truth that you communicate. Because then you don't have to apologize for it. Last night I was out, and in my mind was this idea of having a great time and creating a certain experience for myself, my friends, and the women that were going to come by. And I went about doing it. So anything that came in would be filtered through that. So if someone challenged me, then I would have to filter through that. How come you're not paying for lap dances or something? I'll tell you why. And it's truthful. I'll tell you why. Because if I do, then you're going to keep coming around and bothering us a way that I don't want. We're here to have a good time. There's a lot of money here. Look at all these motherfucking ones. You know what we did? We just got like a stack of ones and we just put it there. I don't normally do that, you know. It's like a new thing. We're trying. It worked really well. And they would come up and their eyes would see it. Because I would be like, sit here. So here's the money. And they would pat right next to it, right? I'm like, oh, you know. And I'll tell you why I won't do that. Because then you'll mess up our experience, I'll mess up your experience. But, I mean, it's available. By the end of the night, I was like, I want to get rid of these things. Right? So I started playing stupid games with them. Because I didn't want to carry on that many ones. That was like the budget for the night, you could say. Right? To have a good time. It's an experience that you're okay with and you don't need to apologize for. The first thing I did when I walked downstairs in my hotel today, the two girls working there, we get in a conversation. What are you doing here? Teaching seduction. I'm teaching the art of communication, the art of seduction, and mastering body language, and looking at somebody, knowing exactly what it is that turns them on. They're like, and then I said something to her, I don't remember what it was, and she blushed. And I turned to her friend, I said, look at her face, she's blushing. She goes, I'm not blushing. She goes, yeah, you are. And she goes, it's the lights. And she immediately changed the lights, right? And the interaction got better and better and better and better and better. But my truth would be very clear. I believe in this stuff. I'll tell you why it's important that every man and woman should understand this stuff. I get it. I'm not being sneaky about it. This is what it is. And the problem is people, when they don't have truth, they have nothing to stand on. Looks like a weird politician who just beats around the bush and shit. Right? Girl comes by, she's sitting down talking. I said, you know what, drop this. She goes by, I said, drop this weird interaction we're having. That's what I did with my hand. She was in there. I said, it's just uncomfortable for me. And she's like, I said, it's uncomfortable. I go, you're like, come on now. I said, let's have a real interaction. How's your night? She does not answer me. I said, how's your night? You're making money tonight or what? She's like, oh, it's kind of slow. I said, I'll tell you how to do it. Watch. Come here. I said, look at that guy. And I started to break down his body language. I said, that guy's facing that way. His friends are facing this way. And she's like, oh my God. I said, yeah. I said, here's what I would do. Walk up to him. Don't say, do you want to dance? Just walk up to him and say, excuse me. Say, I'm sitting over there with one of my customers. I said, point towards us. I said, but I keep noticing you. And there's something about you. I don't know what it is. But I have to come and say hi to you. I said, then let him say whatever the fuck he wants and say to him, I have to go work now. But it's nice meeting you. And if I get a chance, I'll come around and I want to talk to you. I said, don't offer a fucking dance. And she's like, that sounds really good. I said, just do it. You have nothing to lose. She goes. She doesn't even come back for a while. She comes back, she goes, you'd make a good pimp. She made $100 from that guy. $100. Then I tried it with two other girls. Another one went really well. One of them didn't go well. She came back, she goes, oh, is that? He said he had a girlfriend. I said, that's a fucking excuse. What the fuck? I said, he just didn't do it right. But anyways, right? And then when she came back after that whole thing, it was a whole different interaction. Right? What do you know? Who are you? I just taught her. This is how you do it. What the fuck? Don't you? No, I don't care about it. Come on now. Don't get tits out of my face. Who gives a fuck? Right? And you might go, well, don't you care about titties and women? Of course, otherwise I wouldn't be fucking who I am in this game. But I understand how to get it. It's like, don't you care about money? Yes, but I understand how to get it. You provide service to people. That's how you make money. You provide service to people. And you provide that service to more and more people. And you make the service better and better, and you provide it to more and more people. And that's how you make money. And you don't think about anything else. That's it. That's how you do it. And I guarantee you millions in the end. I guarantee it, actually. Unless you die too early. But if you do it, you are in the millions. Simple. But it's a basic rule, man. You gotta have the right mindset. You gotta have the right view on the subject. If you're suffering, you have a wrong view on something. It's incorrect. Because there's no need to in a social interaction. It's really simple. Everybody has fears. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody wants to feel important. Everybody wants to feel good looking. Nobody wants to lose what they have. Everybody has secrets that they don't want shared with others. Okay? You know all that? Keep that in mind and get going. Make others important. Now, I gotta say this. I don't know where different levels people are watching this and being here. You gotta know this. If you do it so that you get something from them, and if they pick that up, you lose them. That's disgenuine, fake, and you're using them. You have to do it because you like doing it. I have to do this because I like doing this lecture. That's it. I can't do it for... Oh, hold on. I think my girlfriend's been here for a while. Do you want me to get you any food? You have to do it because you enjoy doing it. Now, let's get this straight. Why does Arash motherfucking Dibazar, who's me, decide to do 2 days of lectures in San Diego, drive his ass on the way to San Jose, stop here, do an hour, and go? Right? Like, I'm going to get from here in the car and go. Because this is how you become a fucking millionaire. Simple. This is that formula. Now get this. Whether you buy anything or don't, I enjoy what I'm doing. And that's what I'm saying. See, it's not a sales pitch. You would feel it if it was. You're feeling something different. You're feeling a sense of passion. That's what this is. So that's how pickup should be. It's not because I'm going to fuck her or be with her. Of course. That's why I'm out there gaming and doing all that shit. But I'm not doing it so that I get her. I'm doing it because I love to do that. And I love women. And I love the way it feels when they give me the replication. I just love that shit. Okay, good. So I'm going to keep doing it. She just happens to be the lucky one in front of me today. Like, I feel like you're the lucky ones being in front of me today. And the next one, that's just the way it is. But I'm going to keep doing my truth wherever the fuck I go. If I ended up in fucking ditch, jail, palace, heaven, hell, if I was in hell, the devil would be sitting there like, ha, that's just funny. You know, he's right. You know, I tried to fuck some girl and I couldn't do it, you know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what I do. That's what I do because I love doing it. It feels good. And we've lost that feeling that it's important that it feels good. We have this new way of doing pickup. Got to rename it, but rename pickup. But I don't. I tell my students to do nothing out of the natural. Nothing. It has to be natural for you. It has to be natural for you. Okay, and that's kind of a general term, but you know, there's only so much time today. However, get this. When you do something naturally, it feels good. Okay, so simple. That's what I want. I don't want anything out of the natural for somebody. If you're inspired to push yourself, that inspiration, I believe, is a natural state that we seek. Everybody likes to be inspired. But if you're now going to go push yourself out there and you're now feeling like shit and you come back and the coach is like, well, fuck it, go in there again. What the fuck is this? Some military shit now? I thought this was social dynamics. You just violated the first one, coach. Get the fuck out of here. And some coaches get really good results like that. Okay, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying what I do and my view of it. And somebody else could listen to my view, which I've heard before, because I do the same thing in martial arts. Like, dude, you're a pussy. No, I'm really not a pussy, bro. I've just played the other game and I don't like the feeling of it. We're driving and it sucks in traffic. That feeling sucks. And you can't do shit about it. It's like, boom, you just want to hit your head, you know? I'm like, you have the camera, record me talking. Whoa, it's like the only thing I can do is just get out the fucking information, how shitty it is to be in traffic. And I don't like that feeling. And when you do pickup, it can't feel like that. It has to feel good. It's like listening to your favorite music, eating your favorite food, chatting with your favorite friends, sitting on your favorite couch, watching your favorite show. That's how pickup feels for me. Last night when I go through my memory, hell yeah. All around. Right? Is that how your experience was last night? Is you nodding? Because we didn't do anything out of like, nobody was uncomfortable. Everybody think it was all good, man. All good everywhere. That's the way it works. Because people feel your vibration, they feel your emotions, they feel your energy. Everybody knows this. But now we have to use it to our advantage. We have to go, I'm feeling this and I'm going to transfer it to you. Simple. Okay? I'm going to be wrapping it up, so think about any questions or anything you have. So, what does it all mean, all this shit that we just talked about? Real simple. Let's start with the beginning of this thing, okay? Everybody thinks they're the most important person in the world. Even if they don't admit it, they think they are. Okay? So recognize that. Nobody likes people who assert themselves as they're so fucking important. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Okay? Whatever. Like, just whatever. Now, here's an answer that just popped up in my mind for you guys, for everybody. I get it. We just did this 2 days of inner game. I mean, Hypnotica's incredible. Incredible. Put me and him together, kill it. But one of the things... How do I word this? Okay. Just think with this for a second. Stop giving so much validation to the voices in your head. What the fuck should I do? What are you fucking talking to yourself for? If you're going to talk to yourself, say some cool shit about yourself. You know? Seriously. If it's going to talk, it better say something cool. Or just say shut up, which is what I do. I literally shout in my head, shut up. Or if I'm alone, I say shut up. Not if there's people around. But I do say it. I said it in my hotel. I said it in my hotel yesterday. It's like, shut up. And it's weird in your head. It's like, huh? It just quiets down. You're not supposed to be talking to yourself unless you are creating the thoughts. But if you got this random machine telling you weird shit, be careful, you know, get rejected, what if no one listens? Fuck off. It reminds me of what Einstein said. He said, if I'm going to think, let me think like a god. Okay, good. Well, if I'm going to speak in my own head, let me speak as my biggest fan. Good job, Raj. Thanks, man. It's awesome. So what do you do when the bad voices come? Just don't give a fuck. That's it. Like literally, just don't make it important. Don't battle with it. Don't wrestle with it. Don't sit there and try to change it, although there's a lot of process for that. My best process in handling is I just laugh and go, whatever, bro. Get the fuck out of here. When was the last time I did well listening to that shit? Never. Ever. No inventor did well doing that. No champion. No fucking seductor, seducer. No, nothing. Nobody. It was the voice that stopped a million things from happening. Don't need to pay attention to it. It can just keep talking like background elevator music. Okay. And you get on with it. You get on with it. Just move. At the end of the night, last night, I saw him for a minute. I said to him, just do it. So I saw him from far away because I saw him thinking about it in action. And he goes, yeah, I was about to. Girlfriend's here. She's going to wait in the car. He goes, yeah, I was about to. And I said, yeah, just go. Go. And he just went. And that's the end of that voice. Now you got to deal with another voice when you start going. Because, whatever. The other way, like, should I not? Well, if it's going to say anything, let it say something else. Let it say something in the action, not in the pre-action, right? The pre-action should just be this. Either go or don't go. If it's don't go, forget it. That's it. It's done. Move on. Right? That's it. Move on. You say, should I approach that? No, should I approach? Okay, let's look at it. It's a no right now. That's it. Then it's a no. Then start looking at something else. Or it's a yes right now. Simple. You start making direct decisions like this. Okay? And your mind will just, it'll start having a different reality. Okay? Because it's in this middle reality for a lot of people. Should I not? Now I finished school. Should I do this job? Not job? I don't know. Do it or don't do it. But don't sit there and fucking talk to yourself for hours about it. Okay? Alright. Any questions? Online and live. We'll give it a minute for you to process it, and then we'll answer questions, and I gotta go.
I'll have one for you.
Yes, sir.
I agree with the idea of doing things that feel natural.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I personally, and I give advice to others at the same, to do things that are unnatural to build skills. Comedy, like we talked about earlier, perfect example. Getting up on stage and convincing 200 strangers to laugh at what you find funny, it'll freak any grown man out who's never done it before. And I mean, what would you say between the two? I mean, what are some of the unnatural things that you recommend to students?
Okay, and I get that that is a process of people living that has resulted in a lot of growth, right? But there's something that I said that I want to just kind of focus on again. I say that if you're inspired to do it, that's part of the natural process. So if someone comes to me and says, I really want to do comedy, man, I think that would be really cool, but I'm scared. Okay, let's move. If someone says to me, I really don't want to do comedy, man, why are you making me do comedy? I said, because it's good for you. He says, but I really don't want to do comedy, man. That's not my thing. I say, oh, you said, that's where it's not natural. It's not that it's uncomfortable in a way like, you know, because when a person's inspired, I believe that comes from somewhere. I'm not inspired in any way, shape, or form to skydive or to swim in the ocean at all. If I did that, I would get a rush of adrenaline because I'm scared as fuck out of those two things, right? And I would probably come back a little bit more firm about those activities. And next time I went by the ocean, I wouldn't freak so much or an airplane. Okay, good, right? But I have no inspiration to do that, like zero. However, there are other activities that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that I'm inspired. For example, I'm inspired to be able to handle in martial arts bigger and stronger and world level fighters. I'm also scared as fuck to do that, just so you know, okay? I'm scared every time I fight. Every time I fight, I'm scared on the mat, straight up. But I'm inspired, and when I don't do it, I beat myself up later. See, I don't beat myself up for not doing skydiving or swimming. I just go, that's not natural for me. But there's something about this fighting thing that I'm inspired to do. It could be because I was beat up as a child, right? So I say that inspiration to me is a clue, an indicator that maybe that is your natural path. It reminds me of the bird who's got to jump out of the nest. He's inspired to jump and he's going to fall and he's scared, but the bird is inspired to leave the nest at some point. And that first flight is very scary, but it's in his or her, it's in the bird's DNA to jump, right? So if someone wants to do anything you're inspired to do, and remember, these are my definitions for me. Anything you're inspired to do, to me, that inspiration is a clue to your naturalness. Just because you haven't done it, you may feel scared or whatever reason, right? So I'm for coaches pushing people in their path, right? I'm for coaches doing whatever the fuck they want to do, honestly. Right? I'm just saying this is how I teach my students. But my answer to that is this. If someone's inspired to do it, yes. I think that's natural. If they're not inspired, I think that's where the conflict comes in. Because now they have such conflict about doing it. The other way, they have conflict about they want to do it, but they can't. I want to approach, but I can't. You're inspired to approach, so let's fix this thing. I don't want to do, let's say, skydiving or comedy, right? I do want to do comedy, but I don't want to do skydiving. Now I'm being forced to do it. Now I have a conflict about not doing it, which is like, what is that? That's like one step back in the whole process. Does that make sense in the way I think about it? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, what else? Yes?
Earlier you talked about this, making yourself feel unimportant versus important versus, the sword analogy is what I'm trying to get at. You also mentioned that you want to decimate your enemies. I also have the same philosophy with my enemies.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the situation where, like, you're in the workplace, you're surrounded by your enemies who are actively trying to attack you, harm you, etc., etc. How do you deal with that and not make them feel unimportant at the same time by demonstrating, your value?
Well, how would I deal with it? I don't find myself in a workplace that I'm surrounded by enemies. Well, I remove myself from that. My workplace is all allies.
Got it. I was just using that as an example of what I'm currently going through. I'm in the process of removing myself from my workplace.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
But it's like, in the meantime, it is swimming with sharks.
Yes.
And it's like,
so make sure you don't bleed when you're swimming with sharks.
So that's basically.
Stay safe.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing I think of. Like, I better have Neosporin if I bleed, because
I wouldn't even bleed around sharks. You see, if you're gonna get in the water with the sharks, you better know they're sharks.
Yeah.
So you gotta approach. Maybe you have to put on a mask.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to be. Oh, that's a great shirt. What the fuck you have to say, right?
Right.
But you're in enemy territory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's certain places I will never go, right? But the self-defense of it, the mental self-defense, which is a whole thing that I teach, is it's like the art of war. Why would you place yourself in enemy camp and go, I'm going to work here now? You're going to get caught. So remove.
Yeah, I didn't plan on. I thought it was a friendly camp, and it turned I was wrong.
That's right. And when your value goes up in life, your friends, a lot of them become your enemies at some point, because they weren't really friends,
No,
or they're
never.
intimidated, right?
They were never friends.
So I mean, the simple answer for me is to remove it while you're there. Keep yourself safe and recognize that if you do bleed, if you show weakness or anything else, if you make yourself more of a target than you are and you're outnumbered, well then the odds are against you.
Yeah, because that's what I've been doing. I've gone out of my way to make myself seem like less of a target, play it down, wear the mask.
And how's that working?
It's great because.
So then that's the answer then.
Yeah, I was curious if there was a different way that you would handle it.
No, I would do the same thing.
Okay.
Safety first in martial arts.
Yeah.
Okay? You protect yourself first, then you attack your enemy. You don't attack your enemy and expose all your weaknesses. In fact, a great fighter will want you to attack him, and in your movement, he moves on you. This is what I do in game. And then my friend that met up with us last night, who's a complete natural, has no idea what game even means, and now he does a little bit, right? He was fascinated. I did a pickup in front of him. I did a few of them. And then when I finished one of them, he turned to me, he goes, "My God." He goes, "That was amazing." He goes, "Now I know what Eric's talking about, Hypnotica," when he said, "I have to meet you." And in that case, that's how my pickup is. She shows her weakness the moment she moves in. Boom. "How's your night?" "Good." "What do you mean good? What does good mean to you?" I mean, when you say good, how good was good? She's never been asked that. She's like, computer, not computing. Did you make a lot of money? Was there friendly people here? Are you working with your friend tonight? Did you come in here feeling totally sexy tonight? What's up? What's good to you? Okay, now you see her eyes go up and she starts processing. She's mine. She opened a door. Okay? She opened a door and I move into her head. And I want to seduce her mind. Her body's coming later. It's easy. Okay? Anything else?
I got one more.
Yeah.
I really like that short story you gave about how you taught the stripper body language skills. Because I personally have had conversations where I cold read the friend of the target in clubs or whatnot, and I read the scenario and they came back and confirmed it, like when I saw her friend flirting with another person or my wing.
Yeah.
What are some other things, if you can think of any, that you've talked about besides body language, where you've kind of shown women that pickup is actually a good thing, contrary to the
It's a huge part of my game because it's in the way I see the world, right? So, we're talking. Let's say it starts in the very beginning, and she says, just another one that happened. Phenomenal looking girl walks up with another one. She was the dancer. She was the waitress. I walked up. The dancer is my target. I look at the waitress and I say to the dancer, I just met them right then, both of them, but they both walked up, right? She was going to give us alcohol. She walked up for a dance. I was just lounging back. I saw her. She was my target from the beginning. I get up and I confronted both of them like this. I turned to my target and I said about the obstacle. I said, she has this kindness about her. And I looked at the obstacle. I said, you have this kindness that comes out of you. It's so rare. I go, when I look at you, you actually seem to care about people. I said, how do you keep that in a workplace like this, right? And she was like, oh. And then the target goes, she's so kind, oh my God, I love her, that whole shit they do. And I was like, no, but but it's not that. I go like this to her, she doesn't almost exist, right? It's just not that. I said, there's something about you that I'm comfortable around you, really comfortable. What is that? You care about people a lot. She's like, yeah, okay, but watch, this is where it came. And then I said, okay, so your friend here, talking in third person, I said, your friend here says that you're very caring because she knows you. I go, what can you tell me about your friend? This is my target. And she's like, oh my, she's really sweet and kind. I said, but you know what? Let me tell you something about your friend. And I turned to her. I said, look at me. Okay. I said, here's what you don't know. Maybe you know. I said, behind this exterior, you're very beautiful. You know that, of course. See, I just kind of acknowledge it, let it go. You know that, of course. I said, behind this exterior, when I look in her eyes, I said, look in my eyes, which I wanted to make eye contact with me, I said, she does not trust anybody. And then the little laughter comes out, right? I said, you don't trust anybody. Oh my God. I go, this is one of the most suspicious people you've ever met in your life. I said, you know what? Let me tell you something. You have to be true to yourself. Okay? That's the number one rule I have. I go outside of everybody here, inside friends and all that. One thing is, I will not compromise me no matter what. There's one contract I never break. Me with me. I think you understand what that means. That's game. And also my philosophy in game. And she was like, and boom, the rest of the night was different. So we get right into what I do when we're there. I want them to talk about what I do.
What you said to the obstacle seems to be exact opposite of a neg. Like, because you're actually complimenting the obstacle.
She wasn't as pretty, and I wanted the obstacle, and I did. And she was like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "You know what? That's how you handle the obstacle. You want the obstacle to be like, no, stay." I don't want to go to the target and the obstacle's like, here we go again, because this girl was a knockout, right? Here we go again. Can I get you a drink now? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, hang on, you have a table over there. I don't want that. So I'm like, wow, I'm just like enchanted by you. There's this kindness, like unbelievable. What is it about her? You know? Mm-hmm. Oh, she's this, that. Oh, wow, blah, blah. Okay, now what can you tell me about your friend? I'm not even looking at her. What can you tell me about your friend? Huh? What is she like? Oh, she's that. No, let me tell you something about your friend. It's still her and I. Look at me. She doesn't, boom, yeah, boom. Now, here's how I feel about it. Now I'm giving her my philosophy, who I am in a short sentence. Here's my value. I'm also very cognizant and aware of her world. She's a stripper. That's how she feels that. Be true to yourself. Don't compromise yourself. Although she's compromised 100,000 times. And she feels bad about it all the time. Okay, boom, boom, and then she comes in. So, any chance I get, I'll show them, I'll demonstrate to them. One thing, what's a very powerful technique that I have, is I see them do something unconscious. He just went like that, he played with his phone, right? You just scratch your arm. I catch that all the time. I have to shut it off sometimes. So if I see it, I'm talking to her, I go, what does that mean? What did that mean when you just went like that with your glasses and moved your body? And she goes, because she wasn't aware of it. I bring attention to an unconscious process, and I question it. And if you do that right, she'll go from this to this. I want her attention to introvert. When it moves in, I move in behind it. It's like a virus. You know what I mean? It's like I send the email, she opens it, I'm in. And she goes, I don't know, I didn't do that. I said, and now I catch the next one. I said, see how your eye flicked to the left? Did you talk to yourself right now? What did you say to yourself? I didn't, you said something, see? Now when you smiled, only your mouth moved, your eyes didn't smile. So now you're like wondering what's going on. So now all the attention goes here, and I'm moving in, and I'm just trying to control as much as possible. But the science of it, or the art of it, is something unconscious happened, which is unconscious to her, but I am conscious of it. I bring attention to it. She has to go from huh to huh. At that moment, I move right behind it. And I'm now right there, more. And at that moment, if I can give her a powerful cold read, or something real, or a powerful piece of information, the whole vibe changes. The whole vibe changes. She goes, what? What's going on? And in that confusion, I give her a powerful piece of information. I can just, from there, from her going like this, and I go, you always scratch your hand when you do, huh? Well, when I said that, you scratch your hand. Now, do you know, it's a primitive thing that we have. It's like, come groom me. Now, you don't do that with people you don't like, right? Now, for example, I just go right into it, and I'm teaching her something, she's going, wow, this shit is fascinating. But all I needed was the door to open to her mind. A little bit. Because I don't want to have a superficial conversation, and she's coming up with a shield. So I gotta change it. It could happen right now. If I said to you, why did your toes just go up and down? Because it went like that, right? And then we could follow that up. And then you get to a point where the person goes, I'm not gonna move. Right? I'm not gonna move. And then you go, your body just froze. All the muscles in your body just tense for just a second. You felt that, right? Yeah. And now your breathing is changing. Pay attention. Leave me alone. Yes, but you know what's fascinating about you? Look at that. But you know what's fascinating about you? Who wouldn't want to fucking hear that, right? If I said that to anybody here, you said that to me, I'd be like, what? What's fascinating about you is that you don't trust anybody. On the outside, you're very bubbly. This is at Hooters. On the outside, you're very bubbly, walking around, jumping around. But when I look at your eyes, I see that there's something there. Something else. Your personality at work is totally different than outside, huh? But you know, you're very good at it. You're good at your job. And then there's a new question I like to ask. What are you good at? It's a great question. It's new. It's like 3 days old. I saw somebody say it somewhere. The girl who, what's her name? Shia said it. Jennifer. Remember she had 3 questions? What are you good at? What is that? How does that make you feel? And superhero. Right? So I thought that was a brilliant question to ask. What are you good at? Because it does make them go, what are you good at? No one ever asked that. I'm good at, I like drawing. I got that yesterday. Okay? Alright, we have to go. I'm sorry to rush out, okay? But if you have to get a hold of me, seductivism.com, or Nate has my number, or Eugene, or blah, blah, blah. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Guys online, thank you. Everybody, thank you. PUA convention, September what?
13th through 15th.
Everyone's going to be there. I'll be there. And I promise you, I'll show you shit that is going to blow your mind. Guaranteed. Okay? Like without a doubt. The highest level shit I've ever done will be there. Okay. You can call my girl and we can go down.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
man.
Yes, thank you very much.